Hi everyone, and welcome to my first ever Python walkthrough, where today's project we will be working on a step-to-step on building rock, paper, scissors, shoot game. So first I'm going to import random, and that will allow the computer to randomly select a choice from rock, paper, scissors. That kind of carries into this variable I'm making, which is a list of R for rock, P for paper, or S for scissors. For this game, I'm also going to keep track of how many rounds we play, as well as the number of wins. Alright, so we're also going to create a while true statement for looping around each iteration until we want to quit this game. I'm going to create a user choice, and it's going to be an input. I'm going to create a new line just so it kind of spaces out every time we loop through and print the user choice. And the user choice will say enter R for rock, P for paper, S for scissors, and lastly I'm going to have an option to enter Q to quit the game. And I'm going to add .upper at the end, so every input, whether it's lowercase or uppercase, it will be assigned to be an uppercase letter. I'm also going to create a variable called computer choice, which will be regenerating a new selection for the computer. So it's going to randomly select a choice from the choices list, actually. And these two choices are actually different. I kind of just coincidence that they're named the same, but it's randomly selecting one of the elements from the choice list for the computer to unknowingly present a rock, paper, or scissors. So the first statement in the while true will be an if statement for the user choice being equal to Q, which will be to quit. We're going to print out just some statement where it's going to be game is over, and I'm going to actually print out the win percentage as well. And I'm going to use an formatted string to allow us to input a variable which will be called percentage. And at the end of the if statement, we will break out, allowing us to quit the game. So for percent, I'm going to have percent equal the wins that we received divided by the total number of rounds, and that'll be multiplied by 100. And I'm going to call another variable which will be percentage, and we're going to round the percent that we just calculated, and then we'll allow it to be 2 decimals, because if we didn't include that 2, it would provide a large number of decimals and it would just be visually unappealing. So this is based on, and we're going to add a comment here, an input with the Q to quit. So that's one portion of the code. And let's add some scenarios based on our input. So we're going to have a pseudocode where user beats the computer, or the computer beats the user. So scenarios where you win is rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, and paper beats rock. Just to kind of have it listed there for myself and yourself if you haven't played this game before. So I'm going to create another if statement, and if the user choice is equal to rock and the computer choice is equal to scissors, I'm going to print out a statement that we won. But first I'm going to just state what the computer selected, just so we have that kind of listed out, just so you can compare what your input was to the computer's output. And then I'll print out you won and state rock beats scissors. And with this being a winning scenario, I'm going to increment the number of wins by 1, as well as the number of rounds by 1. And I'm going to do this for the other two scenarios where we will win, and we'll jump right to that completion. So here are the other two else-if statements where scissors beats paper and paper beats rock if we were to win this round. Now, it's kind of identical for the computer beats scissor user, however, the variables sort of are rearranged. So, quite similar to the above three options, but we're going to start with computer choice being rock, and then user choice being equal to scissors. And obviously, these are going to be scenarios where we lose. So we're going to print out, again, the computer choice, just so we have it presented to us, along with a statement saying we lost. Now, the difference in these statements will be we don't include the wins being incremented by 1 because we lost, obviously, but we will still increment the rounds by 1. And now I'm going to jump to the other two scenarios real quick because it's kind of replicating each other, just different inputs. Now, you could stop here if you really wanted to, but I want to make sure that we're including every possible scenario. So, what other scenarios is possible? So, we could tie, we could have the computer and us have the same input. So, that'll be easily actually because we're just going to be able to compare the computer choice being equal to user choice. And we're just going to print out U tied. We can do retry, try again, however you wish. Some people consider a tie to be a loss. Some people might want to add it as a rounds. I'm just going to leave it blank as is, just so you can keep track of your wins and losses and be prompted with this message if an alternative option presents itself. And then lastly, if you input something that doesn't equal R, S, P, or Q, let's make sure you're prompted with a message such as invalid entry in case you are incorrectly utilizing this code. Okay, so that actually wraps up the rock, paper, scissors, shoot walkthrough on different scenarios on how to utilize this code. So let's go through a run through. So here we're presented with R for rock, P for paper, S for scissors, and Q to quit. So let's see some of these scenarios. Hey, we won, rock beats scissors. Let's see if it prompts us with the other outputs. There we are, we tied and we lost. All right, so all the rock scenarios seem to work. Okay, same goes for paper. And let's see if all the scissors scenarios work. All right, so now that we have some rounds under our belt, let's see what happens when we will quit or enter an invalid entry first, and then quit. Well, hey, there we are. We're breaking the loop, but we're also presented with our win percentage, and I consider that great because we're over 50% with a 54.55% being our win percentage. Great job, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to like and subscribe, and I really hope to see you guys in another video here soon.